It is November the 8th, 2022, quite early in the morning, 4:26, shall we say? Yeah, 25 according to my timepiece. You're looking at the partially eclipsed moon. So the upper left is solidly eclipsed, and then below that it's part of the outer part of the umbra, and then the lower part of the moon is more or less, not eclipsed yet. So we're just going to let this clip run. It's a 20-minute maximum recording time. We'll see how things go. So if I didn't already say it, the aperture is f11, shutter speed's 100, ISO is 64, and again it's a 400mm EDIF manual focus Nikkor lens from the late 70s, early 80s, and I have to go look at my other camera. Lens is set to f8, but we're also using a Tamron SPAF teleconverter model, bringing the focal length up to 600mm. And the camera is saying it's f8, but I think that means it's f8 lens. Eclipsed. I have another camera running, as I might have mentioned, with effectively a somewhat more powerful 600mm, although it's actually a 300mm lens with a doubler on it. I gave some thought to putting a doubler on this lens, bringing it up to 800, but I think it's a pretty good combination I have going right now. This is 400 without a doubler, and the other camera is 600 total, and you don't want too much more powerful than that in terms of having the moon run through the frame. I mean, the more powerful you get, the less time it takes for the moon to descend through and across the frame. So we're just going to leave things well enough alone. We're going to let this run. I'm going to go have a look at my other camera, because obviously the moon's going through it quicker. Right, so move close to center here, and well, we're 20% eclipsed, 25 to 30% eclipsed, and let's see what the time is. 29, yeah. More than a handspan above the horizon, but not much more than a handstand above the horizon. run. I'm going to go back and have another look at my other camera.
I will reposition now. It was close to the bottom thing. We'll just go a little off to the left. Lower the camera a bit so it's higher up the frame. No? Oh yeah, I'll let the moon run through the frame. Yeah. Still got 9 minutes and 30 seconds of recording time left. So yeah, we're just going to let the camera roll here.
So we're going to let that camera roll a bit longer before repositioning. I'll let the moon come down more towards the bottom of the frame. I just repositioned my other camera, and we'll see how things go. But it's I'm not sure to what extent I've shot the lunar eclipse on video before. I might have done it once or twice, but I generally have done stills up until now. Not very much video, so it's kind of nice to just watch the moon run down through the frame here. So again, I'm going to have a look at my other camera, but there's still a minute or two before it gets down to the bottom of the frame, maybe even 3 minutes, so see how the other camera's doing. Okay, so I think the moon is, getting quite close to the bottom of the frame. So we're going to reposition things. So off to the left, lower the angle a bit so the moon's on the frame. And yeah, we'll just let it run from here. 10 minutes recording time left. And yeah, so the moon, I would say, is 30% eclipsed at this point, maybe even more, 35. So we're just going to let this run. Again, base ISO of 64, Nikon D810 DSLR, 400mm ED/IF Nikkor manual focus lens, set to f11, and the the shutter speed is 1/100th of a second. And we're just going to let the camera roll. Well, I'm actually giving some thought to changing the shutter speed. Tick as it's getting more and more eclipsed. I think for now we'll just let it go. It's a little on the underexposed side, but that gives us more detail in terms of the Maria and so on. So I think for the time being we're just going to let the camera run as is. But I think when I start a new clip, which I'll have to do in 8 minutes and 40 some odd seconds, at that point I think I'll maybe adjust the exposure to be slightly lighter.
No, and we get to the bottom frame here. I have to say there's sort of a nasty greenish finish to this. Why that is, like this be display. This display. Got 5 minutes of recording time left. It's down here at the bottom of the frame. So I think we'll reposition. So off to the left.
Okay, so the moon is now just above the center point and coming down. Just under 7 minutes of recording time left, so we're just going to let the video run here. I don't know if I'm even going to bother taking any stills. We can always take a screenshot from the video. Obviously not nearly the same resolution as if I shot a still, but I have stills from previous eclipses. I don't have a lot of continuous video footage, so I think I'll stick mostly to video for the time being. Once it gets close to total, and during totality, I'll probably take some stills, but I think for the time being, in the partial phases, I'll just let the camera shoot video. Just under 5 minutes of recording time left, and well into the eclipse now, getting to the point where it's almost 50% covered, certainly 40% plus, and yeah, just gonna let the camera run for another 4 minutes and 30 seconds. getting a little bit of vibration from wind. It's not a strong wind, but definitely a bit of a breeze and you know, gusts here and there. Anyway, I better check my other camera because I think it's getting close to running out of time.
It is Tuesday, the 8th of November, early in the morning. Let's see, for something 42, we're looking at the partially eclipsed moon. So as the moon is setting, it's being increasingly eclipsed, and it will be totally eclipsed in a little while. So we're just shooting video for the time being.
Oops, getting down near the bottom of the frame. Less than 2 minutes of recording time left, but we're just going to let it run. But I think when I start the next clip, when this ends, I think I will decrease the shutter speed somewhat. I may also double check the focus to be sure it's in focus. It should be. I thought I had it quite sharp, but I will verify focus before starting the next frame. So a minute and 13, 12, 11, 10 seconds left.
So the moon is getting towards the middle of the frame. I'd say well over 50% eclipse now, maybe 60-ish. Plenty of recording time left.